What's good, y'all? Listen, look, I'm mad I even gotta say this.
Why are we acting like this is not agree? Don't get your fucking hurt like
There's nothing wrong with hate. You've got to hate some things with a passion. And destruction, they must dislike and hate with a passion.
Hello, YouTube. So good to be here. Another day, another dollar, another hey, another holla. Hope y'all have a wonderful day. We at the end of the night with it. This was a last minute decision. Okay, this was supposed to be a video. Actually, these were actually supposed to be separate videos, what I'm about to react to, until I realized that all of them really, I'm talking about the same thing. Honestly, they're all pretty related. So we're going to get into it, and y'all, we'll see how it unfolds as I go. But I was just sitting here as I pulled them up, and I'm like, wow, I really could make this just one video. I'll probably go back and clip it. But all of these videos I'm about to get into are connected to some degree. And essentially it's because within this new generation, we are missing. And it's not just the children, it's the parents. We're going to get into both sides. But and just adults, period. We're missing a lot of fundamentals when it comes to the necessary characteristics we need in order for us to have a productive, responsible, accountable society. Okay. And some of those fundamentals for that are seriously missing. So I want to get into it because this is absolutely egregious. And I can relate. I think most of these videos, I got Will Smith, Marlon Wayans, and NLE Choppa on the cover. All of these videos that I'm reacting to are men, except for one of them, which is at the end, and one of them is a woman. But even though I'm talking about men, I'm really relating this to society as a whole. Because I see this problem spreading out in other areas with women. Honestly, I can relate to some of the issues we're gonna get into. But this is definitely a problem that we got to talk about because the fundamentals are necessary, man. These kids, this new generation, Jesus help us. Even some problems from the old generation, from the last generation as well. But yeah, we're going to get into it, like I said, because it's all going to come together. Now, this first clip I have up is NLE Choppa. He was on recently on Kirk Franklin's podcast. He has it's called the Den of Kings, if I'm not mistaken. Hold that thought before I go any further. Let me play this right quick. 2 seconds. So sorry. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. That do it, because I definitely think I got some content up here. We're gonna see though. So yeah, this first clip I have, Kirk Franklin has a podcast called Den of Kings, and it's like a round table he does. They eat dinner, and it's like a bunch of brothers, okay, that they come together and talk about, like male issues, men issues, specifically Black, men issues. And it's a good thing. From the clips that I've seen, it looks like they've been having some really constructive conversations. So that's what's up. Shout out to the brothers over there. Shout out to Kirk Franklin for having these conversations, especially doing it with younger brothers. Now, NLE Choppa is the youngest brother on this panel, on this show. He's like 23, 22. The rest of the brothers, they got Kevin on stage. They got this brother right here. I don't know who this is in the green. He's like, I think his name is, I don't want to mess it up. That brother though, they got Ray J, they got Jonathan Majors, and I think is that everybody? I think that's everybody at the table. So everybody else at the table is like 35 and up. Let's just make that clear. Everybody else at the table is substantially older than them, okay? Including Kirk Franklin, who's like 30, who's like 55, okay? So we got like an elder, someone who's playing the elder position, and then we got basically like older brothers, okay, around him. And so I just wanted to play this particular part of this interview, because although I've been seeing a lot of clips and people have been saying he's been dropping gems, and Ali was up there, he was spitting and which he was, because I watched the majority of this interview already. I think the last 20 minutes is where I stopped at before I started to get ready for this video. But he was saying the brother got some knowledge. Clearly, he's done some work spiritually, mentally. He's read. He's, clearly he's done some work. So I'm not going to discredit that. But where the problem lies is that there's an ego there. There's a level of non-receptivity. He's not trying to receive because he thinks he knows it. He knows already. He already knows what he has. There's nothing else for him to receive. Although he's saying on the panel that, oh yeah, I'm only willing. Man can only give what they're willing to receive. I'm receiving from this brother. I'm relating to this brother. Like, he's saying it, but he's doing so much of this, he can't receive it. He's talking so fucking much that he can't receive it. It's funny because this is not the part that I'm about to show, but Ray J actually gets up and walk away from the table. And Ray J might be awesome. Ew, something like that, because that nigga was barely there throughout the interview. Throughout the whole damn conversation. I mean, physically, after he left from his interaction with NLE, he don't even come back, I don't think, unless he comes back like the last 10 minutes. But other than that, even throughout the conversation, it seemed like he wasn't even there mentally. That's just I just want to throw that. Like, Ray J, I don't even know when they had that brother up there. He going through some shit, clearly. But that interaction, he has an interaction with NLE, and he's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you really expect we're all 35. We're at a place where you're not at yet. You know, do you really think that you have the knowledge that we've attained? You know what I'm saying? Like, from our experiences, although you're only 22. Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, I've been through a lot since as a 22-year-old. And he's just going through, he's not receiving as he says that he should, or that he can. So I think this part right here displays that the most. This is where Kirk Franklin is trying to show him the perspectives, give him a different perspective of where the other brothers is coming from at the table. So just watch how he reacts to this. And I think this is a perfect example of what I mean.
Let me tell you what's happening, King. Let me tell you what you're dealing with at the table. I'm gonna share something with you.
I'm dealing with the same thing.
But no, and I'm dealing. And I respect you.
I deal with.
And I know that you are.
I deal with the way I deal with people dying in the most violent way, and I got to go to their funerals, pay for the motherfuckers, and they mama have to cry on my shoulder.
I'm not discounting that.
I'm not discounting either, but I'm saying.
Well, no. First of all, I am very grateful that the space for conversation is just happening.
Me too, bro.
They was having a chance to talk. Yeah,
No, this is actually the conversation.
Yeah. But I do want you to know, and I do want you to know what you're also walking into is because
I know what I'm walking into.
Well, if you don't mind,
Yes, sir.
if I can frame it like this, if you don't mind, just give me a second, and I really appreciate that. You're also talking to people, and I want to go to this with you, Ray J. It's because you were raised in the church too. This is what you also do. See, you had, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I need you up on this. You weren't raised in church, were you?
My grandmother on my dad's side took my pops to church 3 to 4 times a week, sometimes 2 times a day.
What about you?
I'm a product of that.
Okay.
That veered my father away from church.
Wow.
I wasn't in church every day and all this.
Good.
I was not. I can't say.
Which is
but
good.
I still receive what he felt. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a generational thing.
Yes,
It's
yes, sir.
passed down.
Yes, sir.
So whether I feel it the way he felt it or not, I still feel it secondhand. You feel me?
Well, let me tell you why I said that. It's because I appreciate and love when people did not have to be forced to go to church and have stuff thrown down their throats, because it gives them a different way to paint their picture of the journey.
But going to church isn't the solution, man.
No,
I
I'm not disagreeing with you, King. I'm sharing with you what you're walking into. What's happening at the table is that for a lot of us, let's call it what it is, religious trauma.
Okay, shout out to the brother Kirk Franklin for the patience. Love to see it. He handled, honestly, this whole conversation very well. He was a great moderator as far as being graceful and patient and allowing people to speak and bringing other people in, making sure all the voices was heard. He actually did a really good job. I'm not gonna lie. I don't watch this podcast. I know it's a male podcast. It's the first episode I've seen, but if that's the regular for him on the show, the brother doing it all right. This is actually a good show to see. This is a good work. We love to see it. Shout out to the brother. Now, but see, this is what I mean though. Because all Kirk was trying to do was give him understanding of what he was. Now, mind you, all the brothers at the table are church kids. All the brothers at the table grew up in the church. Just the simple fact of Kirk asking him, like, yeah, did you grow up in the church? Now, instead of him just saying no, because he doesn't want to be in a position, and this is what I mean. Instead of him just saying no, he says, oh, well, no, my father, his mother took him to church, and I feel that on a secondary level. That's not what he asked you, sir. He asked you, were you raised in the church? Very simple. Very simple. You could have just said no, and then he would have been able to go on and say what he was going to say, which he did. He did still say it. But the fact that you were even reluctant within that, even before then, like when Kirk Franklin says, oh, well, let me just show you what you're walking into. I already know what I'm walking into. Well, let me just reframe it for you if I can. Such grace. I let her see it. Because I would have been like, well, nigga, if you get it, you get it. Whatever. All right, let's move on. Because I'm not about to keep it. But shout out to the elder for having grace. And he was like, well, let me just reframe it for you. Because what it is that he's reluctant to be put in a position of the student. You are the youngest person at the table. You should be the most quiet. You should be listening. You should be receiving the most. NLE probably talked the most throughout this whole damn show besides Kirk Franklin and maybe Kev on stage. But that right there shows the level of receptivity that he has, of what the willingness he has to receive the knowledge from elders or from others, because he's put himself on a pedestal like, oh, well, I've gone through this spiritual journey. I've been through this. I'm only 22. I know more than my peers. So there's an ego there that's stopping him from receiving. But because he has this false sense of awareness, oh, well, I know the Bible. I know I done been this. Mind you, this is the same nigga who was just standing in the rain 2 years ago talking about I can make it rain. I could move the sky. This is the same nigga that was doing this 2 years ago selling sea moss. Okay, then he reverted back to the degenerate music he was making, literally walking women on dogs. He reverted back to that. And now he's back to, oh, I had a daughter, so now I'm back to my spiritual awakening. Everybody has a journey. I'm not judging the brother. Okay, although he is in Hollywood. Peep that. I'm just saying, might be some rituals going on there. We ain't gonna put the 10-foot bottle. Even I keep the 10-foot bottle, but we ain't gonna go there. The brother's on a journey, to say the least. So for you, especially to be doing that publicly, for you to get up on this platform and not wanting to hear, not wanting to receive the knowledge and the experiences from other Black men, you're the brothers, the people you will evolve into being, the person you're going to evolve into being, these older Black men. You should be wanting to hear their experience, wanting to hear the perspectives, even if you don't agree, even if they from church and you didn't grow up in a church. You should be genuinely wanting to hear these perspectives and humble enough to sit there and listen, because you were invited to this table. You're the only young brother there. All the rest of the brothers is 35. He chose you to sit in that seat for a reason. Receive that. But you so busy trying to make it seem like, oh, well, I already know. Oh, well, matter of fact, I should have took this part out too, because this part was very telling. He says to Ray J, when Ray J is like, yeah, we all 35, do you really think, and Ray J makes a point like, do you really think you could give us advice? You know what I'm saying? Like, from a 22-year-old, me being 35, do you really think that you're in a position to give me certain advice? And he's like, well, what do you mean? What's going to change? What do I have to learn from now to 35? What's going to change? And that sparks another part of the conversation. And Kev goes on to tell stories, and everybody kind of gives the perspective. But just that right there, to say that you don't think that you don't need, that there is no more experience, there's no more wisdom, no more knowledge to be attained from the age of 22 to 35, shows the ignorance. That shows the level that you're at and why you need to be listening. It's why you need to be receiving. It's why Kirk is trying to tell you, well, let me reframe it for you. Because clearly you don't have that level of understanding you're trying to portray that you have. And that's a problem that too many of our, not only men, but young women have. I can relate to this. I'm gonna be real. I can even relate to that. And I'm 25. I'm 28. So I can even relate. And I'm years passing. But these younger ones, these 22, 23, especially the ones like him who get into spirituality, get into the conspiracies. And it's like, oh, boom, I figured it all out. I remember it was a video a few years ago. It was a young brother who did like spiritual videos. What was the young brother name? Damn, I forgot. And that was his whole thing, was making these spiritual videos, And one of his last videos, he's also a rapper too. I think he raps now. But one of his last videos I remember I seen of him, he was like, I finally figured it out. I figured it all out. That's what the title was. Mind you, this brother's like 23 at the time. So something like that. He's like 22, 23. He's younger than me, I'm pretty sure. And the title of the video is like, I figured it all out. And in this video, I think it's like an hour-long video, he's just explaining like, oh, why the ancestors is, why they did what they did and what passed down to us and how we got into such a predicament and da-da-da. And at the end of the video, he's just like, yeah, so I came to the conclusion that basically we're trapped in this matrix because the ancestors are bored. They just bored. That's what it is. Boredom. We're just bored. So we just here figuring shit out because we bored. And I'm like, do you really? I mean, I'm not saying I got it all figured out. But what I'm saying is, do you really think that that's the conclusion after everything that, and you ain't even learned everything. You've just learned a portion of some things, which can be a lot. I don't want to downplay it because that can still be a lot. It might be even more than the average, but it's not everything. Brother, you only 22. Do you really think you figured out the key to fucking life and you think it's boredom? You got to take it back to the drawing board. But that's so common, especially because in this age of information, it's information. You can just scroll on TikTok, go down a rabbit hole. You can go down a rabbit hole on TikTok, watch 17 videos. Now you done learned about some shit you ain't never heard before. You telling somebody else. So because you're getting this knowledge so quick, people just think that that knowledge equates to wisdom, and it doesn't. NLE might have a lot of knowledge, but he don't got the wisdom yet. A brother with wisdom, a man with wisdom, a person with wisdom is able to receive. Just like Kirk was able to sit there and listen. He knew, you could tell Kirk didn't agree with everything NLE was saying. Most of the brothers at the table didn't agree with what he was saying. And not to say what he was saying was completely wrong, because I actually agreed with some of the things that he was saying. But the fact that Kirk was able to sit there and receive and also give shows the level of wisdom that he's at. Same thing with the other brothers, but he was the only one at the table that was like, well, the energy felt like I gotta make it seem like I gotta make sure they know they not about to sun me. I'm not no little nigga. Like, I'm not one of these average 22-year-olds who just don't know nothing about nothing. I know about life. So I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna give y'all wisdom just like y'all giving me wisdom. And it's like, no, you can spread information, you can share information, you can share knowledge. And even to some degree, some of the wisdom that you got, but at 22 years old, you don't have more than likely. Because there's some old niggas out here without no wisdom. You got some old niggas and you got elders. You got old fools, you got young fools that turn into old fools. Okay, so there's that. But to be at this table with these brothers, the fact that this brother selected these few should show you that clearly they've attained a level of wisdom that you're not here yet. You're not at yet. And he's trying to shine that light on you. He's trying to pour some of that knowledge, some of that wisdom into you. But you're so busy trying to be Mr. Know-it-all that you're missing that. It's going above your head. And although, again, some of the points that he was making, because, he's talking about Jesus and, why Jesus isn't, he's like for lack of better words, like a middleman, he goes straight to source, and certain things like I kind of agree with, but it's like for you not to have the space and willingness to put that to the side, to be like, let me just see what they're saying, let me just listen. It shows where you at, brother, and that's a problem. That's a fundamental problem that needs to be talked about more and needs to be corrected within this new generation with people, honestly, anybody under 30, anybody under 35. This has to be something that's instilled, honestly, within our children. Is something like, it's okay. It's like life isn't to be rushed. There's a reason why there's a certain amount of knowledge you have at 22 versus 35. There's a reason for that. It's a reason why you don't know the same things at 10 that you knew at 25. Life is supposed to teach you. You're supposed to go through these experiences to gain this wisdom, this knowledge, to attain that level, to even be looked at from others as a person of wisdom, or that has attained, somebody to be looked at, to go to for knowledge. Nobody, like the average person in most cultures, are not going to a damn 10-year-old to look for guidance. You're going to go to an elder. Most cultures, it's the elder where you get the wisdom from. That's for a reason. Because life, age, it does show you, it teaches you, it gives you room to grow and to experience, to evolve. It's harder to do that within just 22 years, especially because that first 18 years, you wasn't even doing it on your own. You was doing it under your parents' supervision. So you wasn't experiencing these things. You wasn't having that full experience as you are now. But even now, you've only been experiencing that for 4 years, brother. So it's like, slow it the fuck down. Slow it down, brother. I like where you're going. I mean, I pray that this is a genuine. Thank you for the cash app. I seen that. ASAP. Appreciate you, Russell, for that cash app. But I see where you're going. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that he has a motivation to gain that hunger, to gain knowledge, to gain wisdom, to learn. And especially even to connect further with God. I love that. That's something that's missing too within this new generation. But I love that he's doing that. And he's showing example by that. But brother, you do got to reel it in. You got to snap back. You got to come back too. And that might be because I think he said he talked about he talked about he lost his grandfather, if I'm not mistaken. Both of his grandfathers. I think his father instead of his life. But this could be because he had such stardom at a young age. He been rich since like what 18, 17, I think, when he came up with what was that one of his freestyles made him go viral. I forgot, but this was like I'm pretty sure he got rich at like 17, 18, fresh out of high school type shit. So when you're put in that position, you know, it's kind of like child stars. It's like you're a lot of responsibility, a lot of weight, a lot of pressure is put on you at a young age. Your whole family is looking at you to change their damn lives, and all you did was make a good damn rap song, and you just wanted to get rich. You ain't think about the pressure of continuing to be rich for your family and upholding this. You know what I'm saying? So it pushes you to grow. It pushes you to mature to a degree. So I can get why he can get to a state where it's like, well, they already done that. Even when Kevin on stage is talking about his brother passed and how, you know, he was going through this moment with God where it was like, damn, I don't know if, you know, is God really looking out for me? Is he, you know, he let my brother die the way he did and da-da-da-da. He was just questioning. And NLE is like, oh, no. Well, energy doesn't die. So, you know, energy. And Kevin is like, well, my brother is dead. I get what you're saying, but my brother is gone. So at that time, I understand what you're saying. But at that time, I'm looking at it like my brother is gone. And the way he described his brother leaving, it was absolutely egregious. I can understand why he had a hard time moving on from that. I'm grieving, processing that. But it's like even with NLE not being able to say, you know what, brother, I get that. Even if you felt like, well, energy is transferred, and oh, my grandfather, he came in my dream and he showed me where the guns were, and I went and found it, or the pew-pews, and I went and found it, because he talks about that too, how he processed his grandfather passing, and why he think energy doesn't pass on it, which is true scientifically. But that's not the part of the conversation that Kevin was focused on. He was focused on that work that you have to do, that faith that you have to keep and instill within yourself in order to strengthen your connection with God and hold on to that. And NLE was just going a different place with it. You know what I'm saying? Because he was not focused. He wasn't receiving the knowledge. He wasn't receiving the wisdom. And so that's my main issue with this interview, is like, brother, I pray that he goes back at some point, you know, maybe it's going to take a couple years, you know, for him to go back and look at this and be like, damn, I should have shut the hell up. Because that's honestly all it is. Brother, shut up. That's right. Shut your ass up and listen to these brothers. They saying some real shit. And I don't even agree with everything they saying, but they saying something that you need to hear. You need to hear it. I'm 28, so I can, you know, it's a little bit of a different, they ain't that far from me. It's a little bit of a different perspective. I'll be 29, I'm about to be 30. So it's a little bit of a different perspective. But brother, you just turned 22, brother. You just got out here in these streets. You just now feeling life for real. Because even with you getting rich at 18, baby, you still had your parents to guide you. You still had a parental guidance. Even if they didn't understand the type of guidance you needed. You still had something to fall back on. You had a net. At 22, when you grown, baby, you ain't got no damn net. That's it. You might still have a net at 22. I still had a net at 22, to be honest. But you're not there where these brothers have been at yet. You're not there yet. And that's okay. That's fine. It doesn't negate your experience. It doesn't mean that you're not knowledgeable. It doesn't mean that you can't attain that level of wisdom. And it doesn't mean that you can't share your experiences or give advice to a degree to somebody else older who may need it. But it does mean that majority of the times you need to be receiving. You need to be listening more than you're talking, especially in spaces like this, because you don't know. You don't. And acting like you do know is not going to change that. It just shows how much you don't know. Because a person that knows will easily fall into the role of the listener, easily fall into the role of the student, easily be humble, walk into the conversation without a defense, thinking that you have to defend something that doesn't need to be defended, babe. That's immaturity. It shows the lack of wisdom. So, yeah, shout out to Kirk Franklin for that. I really did enjoy the conversation. I actually really did enjoy that conversation, to be honest. So, yeah, shout out to him. Y'all make sure y'all go watch that if you have a chance, okay? But I did peep that. That is something that is heavily missing within what you call it, this new generation, man, is that lack of receptivity, man. You got to learn how to receive, baby. You don't know it all, and that's okay. You don't know it all. You don't got to know it all. Okay, the Most High knows everything. So you ain't got to, I'm saying, but you ain't got to know it all at once. At that, it's okay. Life is a journey. Take the journey step by step. Damn, shut your ass out in that lead. That's all I wish somebody could have said. And honestly, shout out to Jonathan Majors, because he did kind of say that. He was like, he had interrupted and was like, "Did you read the Bible?" And he was like, "Yeah, I read it. Nah, he didn't even see I read it. That's how you know that's the ego." He was like, "Yeah, I read it. I listened to it. I experienced it." Like, nigga, just say you read the damn Bible. Stop trying to get up here trying to sound like you damn. Come on, Jesus, please get your ass on somewhere, please. Just sounding real self-righteous, okay? Relax. And Jonathan just cut him off like, "Brother, read it again." Like, okay, thank you, nigga. Go read it again. Because clearly you're not practicing the knowledge you have attained. That's wisdom. And that's what NLE is missing, baby. Just because you read a lot, you memorized a lot, you know a lot, it doesn't mean you practice. That knowledge comes in the practice. Them brothers up there were practicing their knowledge. You could see it. That's why they didn't engage. That's why they didn't go too far with even trying to convince you of otherwise, because they know their knowledge has put them in a position where they know, oh, he just got to learn. He just not there yet. He just not, clearly, you just not there yet. And that's all right. But brother, you got to get some self-awareness about you. Okay. Bring back, come on, reel it in. Receive, brother, receive. So yeah, moving on. Let me get to this next one. Will Smith recently did this, was on this, what is this called? First on the Call Sheet, I believe. Is that what it's called? I think it's called Number One on the Call Sheet. It's a Netflix like documentary type thing. They interview actors. And this is a clip of him talking about his daughter Willow. And I'm gonna just let him explain.
It was 2010. I'll never forget, we were in Dublin, Ireland. Willow comes off stage. She was on tour with Justin Bieber, hit record, 20,000 kids whipping their hair in Dublin. And she comes off stage and is like, "I'm done, Daddy." I was like, "Yeah, baby, that was a great show." She's like, no, I'm done. I'm ready to go home. And I was like, well, no, you can't go home, sweetie. You promised Mr. Jay-Z that you were going to do these 30 days of this tour. I said, "No, Daddy, you promised Mr. Jay-Z." And I was like, "Sweetie, I get it, but we promised as a family and you have to finish." And she looked at me. I'll never forget the look in her eyes. And she was like, "It doesn't matter to you that I'm finished, Daddy?" And I was like, "Well, yes, sweetie, it matters, but you can't be finished." And she was like, "Oh, okay." So we go back to the hotel, and Jada had just left, so I'm there. It's my first night of daddy duty. And she came out the next morning, and she had shaved her head bald. In the middle of her Whip My Hair tour, she shaved her head bald. And it was like a magical moment. I was like, got it.
Yeah, okay. Now, here's my thing. I understand that I think she was like 10 at the time is what he said. So I understand as a child, her not understanding the depth of what she got into. You know what I'm saying? The responsibility that came with what she was doing. You know, to her, it was just like, I love performing. I love the song. I love whipping my hair back and forth. I love being in front of the crowd. Okay, but then I'm ready to take my ass home. I'm not about to do this for 30 days straight. I'm not ready for a job. I didn't sign up for that. She may have not understood that. I can get that. But the problem is for me is that him allowing her to go shave her head off, even her doing it. I'm gonna circle back to that anyways, because that shows a level of lack of discipline right there. But the fact that he allowed her to go shave her head off, and then the tour, I'm assuming, let me assume, because I don't know if he didn't really make it clear. He just said, "Got it." I guess that means that the tour ended after that. I'm assuming that's what that means. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the narrative I'm gonna go with right now. That the tour that he allowed her to go home after that. When you make a promise, when you give your word and you make a promise for something, you're supposed to uphold that. That's something fundamental. That discipline and knowing that, damn, I don't want to do this shit no more, but I gotta do it because I said I was going to do it. Or damn if I said I was going to do it. I signed up to do it. It's my responsibility to do it, so I'm going to do it anyways. That discipline is key. That's something fundamental we need within society. Because although I get it, she's 10 years old. Like he said, we made this promise as a family. Sorry if I didn't explain to you well enough what that meant when we made that promise. But baby, at this point, there's no backing out. There's contracts involved. There's lawyers involved. There's budgets involved. Baby, we can't just go home. That's not how this works. This is a job. This is no longer just for play. We just whipping our head back if you just popping up on random shows just because you Will Smith's daughter. No, you actually have a song and you're making a name, and people are going to be fans, and people are going to be looking for you. They're going to expect you there. You have an obligation now. And so even at 10 years old, even if we're going to go shave her damn head off, well, baby, now you got to wear a wig. I'm sorry that you were that upset that you felt that you had to go. You thought that was the solution. You were just going to shave your head off and we was going to go home. No, that's not how business works. See, now, baby, we got to go put on a damn wig. We got to go we got to take out more from the budget. Now you got to learn, because now we got to take out more from the budget to add to your wigs that we're going to have to buy, because you're going to have to whip your hair back and forth, because that's the whole point of your damn song. We can't have you singing up there, talking about whipping your hair back and forth, and you ain't got no damn hair. That don't even make sense, baby. So now we got to get you some hair. I'm sorry that you got to do this, but this next 30 days, you don't have a choice but to do it. Now, after this 30 days, if you say, Daddy, look, I ain't ready for this life. No, I ain't ready for this life. I think I'm going to wait to do an album. I'm going to wait if I want to go on tour. If you want to do that after this 30 days, fine. But this 30 days is already locked in. Mr. Jay-Z said, you already locked in for this. We already told him we locked in for this 30 days. So that's what you got to do at the very least. You got to stick to your word. That right there is a level of entitlement. And it goes back, even going back to her shaving her head off, because my daddy would have whooped my ass. Yeah. My mother would have whooped my ass if I would have walked out of my damn room and said, oh, yeah, with my head bald. What? I can't even imagine the consequence. The fact that that wasn't alarming to him says something as well. Because there's no way that your child is like, of course you want your child to have autonomy on their bodies, but certain things, baby, I pay for that hair. I do that hair. You are living under my roof. That's just like even somebody going to go to a family member going to go get your child's hair locked because they wanted it locked. Oh yeah, well, and you didn't consult, or you dropped your child off at a close friend's who's a hairdresser, and they just lock their hair up, or they cut, or they bleach the ends or something like that. And you're like, oh, well, that's what she wanted, and you didn't talk to me first. Damn, what the fuck she wanted? What about I'm her mother? I'm her parent. I tell her what she can and cannot get. She tell me what she want, but I tell her what she can get. So even in that moment, it's like, what the fuck you mean you good? She should have got in trouble for that. That's a lack of discipline. That's something that is fundamentally needed. We need discipline. You have to have the willingness to do things when you don't want to do them. Even when you don't want to do them, you got to do them. That's something fundamentally needed within society in order for people to be accountable, in order for people to be progressive and constructive. Because everything that's constructive, everything that's necessary, most things that are necessary in society, you ain't gonna want to do every damn day. Do you think people that take the trash men want to come up and wake up at 3 in the damn morning and be out till 8, 12 at 2, 3 in the afternoon, picking up smelly ass trash? What? Dealing with roaches and rats? Do you think men really want to do that? Do you think men want to go down into mines and go into damn oil pipes in the middle of the sea and risk their lives? No. They got to do it, though. They said, I want to make this amount of money. I've already signed these contracts. Damn, if I'm scared, this is my job. Do you think even women, want to go to some ERs and wake up at 6 in the morning and be there till 12 at night, got these long ass shifts? Do you think that these nurses want to do that every day? No, but they got to do it. It's their responsibility. That's discipline. And that's something that's too many are missing, baby. And you got to be able to do things even if you don't want to do them. And it just is what the fuck it is. That's life. And that's a part of godliness. Honestly, you got to do what you got to do. You have to. It's a part of work. That's how you build. That's how you grow. That's how you evolve. So just that lesson right there, that may have And people be talking about how the Smith children are hella weird anyways. They don't get hot as hell. People be talking about how the Smith children are already weird as hell. You know what I'm saying? But I think a part of that is because they were given so much free range at a young age to do whatever the fuck they wanted to do. There was no discipline. You could go blonde, dye your hair. You can go mess with this. You can do that. You can experiment here. You can go there. But there's no discipline. There's no reins. There's no control there. And there has to be a healthy level of control and discipline within a household. Or you're going to end up with children who do what the fuck they want to do. And they end up doing weird shit. Like the Smith children has done. Unfortunately. Okay? So yeah, another thing, I'm just saying that's a fundamental discipline. That's a fundamental that's missing within today's society. These children, like these young adults, I don't even want to say children, these young adults now are missing that. Is this too loud by my mic? My bad, let me know. I'm hot as hell. I'm about to take this damn jacket off in a second. Yeah. All right. Let me move on to the next one. This right here, a little bit different because this right here is actually Marlon Wayans, and he's on a press tour for him. So it's him and Julia Fox, the Tyreek, what's his name? Tyreek Brothers, the other brother, I'm gonna say brother because I guess he is a brother because he had black. I mean, he identifies as a black man. I'm gonna say brother. That just feel kind of weird because he looked like a white boy. The other brother, Tariq Brothers is in the movie with him, and Julia Fox. These are all three of them star in the movie him. Okay, so they're on this. They're doing this interview, and Marlon is asked the question about masculinity, about what a man is, and this feminist Julia Fox, clearly a feminist at least, gets very triggered by his answer, gets very triggered, honestly, by the question in general. So let's just see how this interaction goes.
Real men are. I think there's there's masculinity.
But what are real men?
Right. To me, a real man is a responsible man.
Because every time a man does some fuck shit, they'll be like, that's not a real man. And it's like, looks like a man to me.
I think a real man is in touch with his feminine
looks like a duck
side,
and it walks like a duck.
I mean?
Yeah.
I think a real man is knows how to unstrap from his
I don't
ego.
know. I think the real man thing is just a thing like that people invented to like excuse bad behavior. You know?
Yeah,
like all men are real men.
Said like a real man.
Period.
Yeah,
I think
I'm weird. Shout out to Marlon for the subtle shade talking about said like a real man. Now of course this one is a little bit different. Only because she's a white woman. She's like a middle-aged, she's like 35. White woman, and she's 35, so she's not as young, and she's a feminist, and we know that feminist propaganda has affected the world, specifically Black Americans, in many negative ways. So the fact that she is a feminist in that way is like, it shows. But my problem here is because not only does feminism affect white women, like I said, it affects Black America heavily. Unfortunately, there's a lot of these young sisters running around with similar sorts of rhetoric. Let me just say that, okay? And honestly, some of them worse. You got the ones with the septum piercing, Lord Jesus. They be saying some off the wall shit. It's egregious. But some of them have similar sentiments, and that's a problem. It's a problem. It's a problem. Because for you to sit up here in front of not only one man, two men, for you to sit up here in front of two men and feel that you're entitled enough to speak on their experience, to speak on what defines them, and you mind you, these are two Black men that you're doing this with as a white woman, it shows that lack of self-awareness and entitlement that you have. Because you just automatically know, like, oh no, well, a man, what do you mean? What is a real man? Now he's about to say, well, I think a real man is, well, what do you mean? Because even when they do the fuck shit, why is it that your mind goes straight to fuck shit when you're talking about men? Why does your mind go straight to negativity? Why does your mind go straight to the worst thing possible, worst possibilities of men, the degenerate class of men? You go straight to them and say, oh, well, even they try to act like they're that men, but they're men. Why is that the representative of man in your eyes? And I get it for white women, of course, because their men are egregious. That men are the most wicked people on this planet. So of course they feel like that for them. But the fact that you're feeling like that you have these sentiments and you're in a room with two black men who never even had the power to affect you with their egregious behaviors. Okay, they've never even had that systematically. They've never had that power as white T men have. So you're equating them to a group of men that they don't even have a relation to that actually has power over them and within the system. So that right there, that lack of awareness that she's displaying right here is very telling, okay, of her own sentiments. That's why I'm like, you can tell that she's a feminist, and she probably even has some anti-male vitriol, and moreover anti-black male vitriol, which would be racism, white supremacy. She's probably she probably holds both sentiments. Let me say that. But that right there shows some of these women. I'm just thinking about some of the other women, the commentary I hear. When I hear moreover black women talk about some of the behaviors of young black men and the reasonings they come up with, it always seems to lack, not always, but with some of these women that suffer from the same issues as she does, it seems like they always lack the context. They lack the understanding. They lack the nuance of the experience that men have. They just think, oh, well, you get the patriarchy. You guys benefit from da-da-da-da. You guys hold women down, and oh, you guys don't think we're equal, and you guys just think you can do whatever you want to do, and you guys are just... So they don't see the other side, especially for black men, because none of that applies to black men. But they don't see the other side of that, the other side that the downfalls, the cons, the many egregious experiences that they have to go through as men that only men experience, that only men go through. They lack the empathy for that. They lack empathy for them. And that's because you got your own damn issues. You have your own problems your own self-loathing issues that you have to deal with, but also vitriol that you're not unpacking, and racism, white supremacy as well, as far as black men, that you're not unpacking, which leads you to have a lack of self-awareness. You're not even being mindful enough of the two people around you, because damn you also being you showing a level of entitlement, but baby, this is just hella fucking rude. Y'all are on camera. You're literally on camera for a movie that all three of y'all are in. All three of y'all are promoting, and you got the nerve to cut off the lead? He's the lead of the film. Why would you be cutting him off mid-sentence about anything? And the fact that you continue to do so to the point where he has to kind of jokingly say like, wow, okay, coming from a real man. Him kind of saying like, damn, okay, bitch, I guess you know better than me. I guess you as a literally white woman knows more than a black man about being a man. I guess you do know more. It's like the fact that he even has to do it shows, baby, you have no mindfulness. That's a level of entitlement. Honestly, that's some white women shit too, just to be rude and not know it. Honestly, it's kind of white tea people shit, to be honest. Their level of courtesy is not the same as black people's or other people's, to be honest, but specifically black people's. This is y'all are not aware. Y'all lack that mindfulness of the people around you. Okay, that consideration of the people around you, and that, although is a side effect of white supremacy, is also a fundamental that is missing within today's society. It's too many. I've seen too many sisters, and I wish I would have got one of them videos as well. But I've seen too many sisters do similar things to men as well in similar settings, whether it was podcasts, whether it was one of those little pop the balloon things, whether it was an interview or what is it called? What's the other thing I'm thinking about? I forgot. But any sort of content where there's especially in the podcast space where there's women talking about men. Matter of fact, that makes me kind of think of Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. She has a similar problem. I'm thinking about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant on that what's that brother show? I don't know if y'all know who I'm talking about. It's a brother who has a podcast. I think he's like an ex-basketball player or something like that. Tell me in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. But she did an interview with the brother. Damn, I should have pulled that up. That would have been a great fucking example, honestly, for black women. But she was on an interview with this brother who was he has a podcast with a sister. Like them two have a podcast, and they brought Dr. Cheyenne Bryant onto that podcast. And her and the sister was basically on sisterhood time. They was on sister girl time, going up against this nigga basically the whole time. Okay. And he's trying to tell them from the perspective of a man what he sees, what he values in a woman, how men prioritize their women, what they want in a woman, how they view them at their age as women. And everything that brother was trying to spew, all the gems, all the knowledge, all the wisdom he was trying to share, even Cam Newton, even her and Cam Newton, that's a good example too. But because she did the same thing there, and she did the same thing with Nick Cannon. But all of the knowledge she was trying to share, she would flip it. Oh, well, that's because men do something. Oh, I'm not cooked. I'm just well seasoned. I'm da-da-da-da-da. I mean, I'm slow cooked. You see men like slow cooked. They like real nice, well done steaks. They like da-da-da-da. They don't like that. It's like everything he tried to pour into her, she just flipped the shit into something that she didn't have to receive. She just bounced off. She deflected from it or tried to twist it in a way that still fit her own narrative. Okay, and that's similar to what this is to what this white woman is doing right here. Common problem. I see this way too often. It's something that needs to be talked about, needs to be exposed, and needs to be corrected. Because it's not okay. Okay, especially when it comes to black men and black women, baby. Ain't no way. I'm not about to tell no man how to be a man or what it is to be a man. That ain't. I don't know about that. I don't know about that life. I know about being a woman. That's it. That's all I've ever been. Okay. Last but not least. Last but not least. Now this video, it's actually it's kind of a stitch because what you call is going to come in and stitch it at the end, Desi. It kind of makes it funny, but I seen this actually a few weeks ago, this video right here. And I didn't really engage with it. I had seen a couple of people post it, but I was like, you know what? I'm not really pressed to engage with it. I seen content like that. Like, I don't know. It just didn't really bother me. Now, when I seen it pop up again on my timeline, I commented on this because, like I said, it's kind of like a stitch. Desi, he's a comedian. Desi Famous for Real. That's his name on Instagram. But he added on to it, and I thought his add on was funny, and I agreed with it, which we're gonna get to. But the comments, the replies to my comments, is what made me want to go back and react to this video because I'm like, ain't no way in the hell y'all are this far gone. Ain't no way y'all really lack this much self-awareness. That's insane. Let me get into it. Hold up, I'm gonna get copyrighted. Let's put that back on mute. We don't need the music. You're not gonna have to hear anything except for the end. Matter of fact, I'm gonna unmute it at the end so you can hear what Bruh saying. But yeah. So yeah, it's the way I'm gonna sing for y'all. It's the way you walk, it's the way you talk, babe. Oh yeah. It's the way you act, it's the way you. Yeah. It's the way you. I don't know the rest of the words. Okay, look, this is the part I'm about to get to though. This is the most important part. Now look at this. Oh, I hope I don't get demonetized for this. A little bit of balance. All right. So yeah, hold up. But this will burst in at the end. Hold up.
God damn. Her homegirl's still a hodo. She thinks like they're fun anyway. She need new friends.
So yeah. If you can see from the context of the video, let me just give y'all a little context if you couldn't understand what was going on. Basically, this girl, she puts her phone down. She's dancing in her phone. It's the way you was, the little slow ground. Now, mind you, she's dancing. It's two other dudes back here behind her while she's dancing. She has them in the angle of the video while she's dancing. Mind you, she got on a crop top, as y'all can see, in them little ass shorts. Okay, I don't know if she home or what the setting is. It look like they in somebody else, but you got on them low ass shorts and a crop top, and you dancing, body rolling in front of two men right behind you, right? Okay, she puts her phone down. Then one of the brothers come over there and start to dance with. It's the way he got his hands up. Now she kind of slickly moves to the side. It still dances, but like kind of passively, like, you know what I'm saying, moves away from him. Okay, cool. But then he stands there as she's continuing to dance. He's standing there watching her and still like, oh, like kind of vibing while she's still dancing. Got her tongue out. Okay. Dancing to the music with with shorts and crop top on. And then the sister, who I'm assuming is this young man's actual girlfriend, comes out, peeps what's going on, and immediately punches this nigga in the face. No time wasted. Immediately, clocked his ass like it was nothing. Now, a lot of people in the comments, when I originally saw this video, it was a lot of people in the comments, and it was even some in this video. who's like, oh yeah, he thirsty as hell, he wrong, like why is he all up on her friend? Ew, like I can't stand niggas like that. He's a thirst bucket, he's da 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 da. And true, absolutely, that's egregious. He all up on his, if that was his girlfriend, that's his girlfriend's friend, that's absolutely egregious, outrageous, everything between. You most definitely should not even be looking that hard at your girlfriend's friend, but moreover be moving towards the video, trying to be all up in her video and shit. Like, that's weird. It's weird behavior for somebody who you're not with and who is supposed to be friends with the person you are with. It's very weird. Okay, very thirsty behavior. All right. But my thing is, as a woman, I would not be around my man's friend with no little ass shorts and a crop top on, dancing, grinding, body rolling to a slow song right in front of him. Why the fuck would I, as a woman who don't want attention, I don't want attention from your man. I don't want your man looking at me. Why the fuck would I, in my right mind, go put on some skimpy ass clothes like that and be dancing to a slow song right in front of him? And then when he comes over, I don't say, get the fuck out of my video. I don't pick up my phone and move it. I just continue to dance and allow him to enjoy the show. Why would I do that if I don't want attention from that man? Now, what it's kind of giving me is that they might be fucking around on the low. That's what that video kind of gave me. That's just what I picked. I'm Scorpio. I'm like, them niggas fuck around on the low. They didn't fuck around before and they stopped, or they fuck around right now and don't nobody know. But clearly they got some shit going on. Because clearly she wanted his attention. That's where my man go. I'm like, girl, why would you be dancing like that in front of him? Why would you even set up a camera? Why do you even feel that comfortable to set up a camera with you dressed like that and be dancing like that in front of my man? Why would you think that that's okay? Why would you think that's okay? So the fact that she doesn't think that's okay shows that there's something else there. There's another motivation there. And see, this is what I'm saying. We lacking self-awareness. We lacking mindfulness. We're lacking, what's the word I'm looking for? Not moderation. What's the word I'm looking for? Y'all help me out. Modesty. Because what you got to think within our generation, when I was growing up, and even now, you got, not really when I was growing up, to be honest, but this new generation, and honestly, just the new culture, this new wave of feminism, that has affected the culture in so many ways. There's this new narrative. Oh, well, why I gotta put on, why I gotta cover up when my uncle come over? Why I gotta do this? Why I gotta cover my body up because he don't know how to look? Why can't these men just have some self-control? Why can't I wear, it's my body, it's my choice. Why can't I go out with my ass out? Because mind you, that's too many. I work in a restaurant, y'all. When I say, and I don't even work in a club restaurant. Y'all work in a regular ass restaurant. I cannot tell you. I can't even count how many times women have walked inside my fucking the restaurant I work at with their ass out. Literally, their dress is so short, their ass is out. Their ass cheeks is on the chair, on the restaurant booth. And they're in a fucking restaurant. This is not a club. This ain't a lounge. We ain't got no hookah. We ain't got no DJ. Nothing. This is a regular ass nice restaurant. Black owned at that. And you got the nerve to walk up in this bitch. I'm talking about multiple young women. Even some older women, like 35, 40. Some of them women, them damn body dresses with the see-through body dresses. God damn, y'all throw that shit away. If you over 40, throw it. We should not be seeing you in mesh, baby. You too fucking old. If you are over 40, throw the mesh away. You're too old. Throw it away, please. But when I tell you there's an egregious amount of fucking women that come in there dressed scantily clad, and nigga, this is a regular restaurant. Why don't y'all got on a nice dress? These women that coming in there half fucking dress and then got the nerve to be looking crazy when they see somebody whispering or see somebody looking. Like, duh, you look crazy as hell. Why you got your ass out? It's kids in here. Why's your ass out? It ain't even no niggas in here that's trying to smack at you, baby. You sitting in a booth in the back of the restaurant. Niggas can't even see you, even if they was trying to smack. What are we talking about? So that level of attention, like an attention whore, That's what it is. You want that attention. You like that energy that you get when you put that type of shit on, when you put on these little shows. It's the way you walk, it's the way you talk, babe. Oh yeah. Girl, why the fuck is you doing all that in front of a grown ass man? Are you in the club? No. This is not, there's a time and a place. We are missing the time and a place. Ladies, we missing it. Because yes, if that was my man, I would have went straight to him too. I would have punched him in the face. That's crazy. But I definitely would have peeped what the hell was going on. And went straight to him. But secondly, I would have went to her like, girl, why is you, girl, no, something's weird here. Something's up. Why is you in front of my man like that? Like, that's weird as shit. Why are you? And if her excuse, which it probably was, what you mean? He shouldn't be looking at me anyways. That's the bitch you don't need to be around. Drop her ass immediately. You don't need to bring around her ass no damn way. Because that's the girl that's going to fuck your man, for sure. Or at least try to. That's going to be the girl that's going to go and try to fuck your man. And it's usually the ones that your men already, usually men know. Men will tell you, like, that friend, you better look out for that bitch. You're going to be I done had men tell me before, hey, look, her ass going to be the one. You better chill. You better tell her, you know what I'm saying? You better be mindful of her because she one of them. I can tell. So men usually can pick that shit up. He probably did too. That's what I said, he probably did hit, to be honest. Or he probably knew that he could. Because there's no way that you're going to do stuff like that. There's certain outfits, certain behaviors, certain things you're just not going to do if you don't want male attention. But if you do want it, there are definitely some key things you're going to do. Those are one of them. Those are three of them right there, what she just did. So yes, your friend, I'm glad he said at the end, that's what Desi was saying, that the cat is whispering to him like, her friend's still a hodo, so da-da-da-da. But yeah, because girl, you knew what you was doing. Let me look at some of the comments, because I commented on this. I said, yeah, she all for sure. The shorts, the shorts and dancing while he's still obviously watching. She want that man too. Clearly she want that nigga too. See, you got to read the room. That's what he said back to me. That's what Desi, the comedian, said back to me. So you got to read the room. So those people in the comments like, and not any of the other men in the room, not even a possibility, huh? Just has to be looking good for her friend, man, huh? Come on now, girl. Think bigger than that, girl. What? Well, the other man didn't come over there and try to get behind her. Yeah. He didn't try to do that, but her man did. If my friend's man is going to come, or if he does something weird like that, I automatically back, because that's weird. I would never want my friend to think I'm trying to, like, no, I'm backing up. I'm good. I'm not even going, we're not even going to, I'm not even, no. Matter of fact, I live with my sister and her man. I'm not walking around the house in damn bras and short ass shorts and damn, I'm not twerking in the middle of the motherfucking hallway like, oh, what's up, bruh? I ain't doing that. And I'm just dancing today. I just feel like, what the fuck are we doing? I'm not doing that. I don't want that attention. I don't even want him to be tempted. Because that's what it is as well, that temptation. Everybody can't resist that temptation. I know they talk about, oh, well, you as a man, you just need to control yourself. Well, there's temptation, just like women have. Because what she was displaying was temptation too. That was a damn, what is that shit called? The little bird call. You was that mating call. It's damn near what that dance was. You trying to get his attention. He clearly wants yours. He clearly already was locked in on you, but you want his attention. So we can't sit here and play this delusional game like these women ain't doing this shit on purpose. This is not just man, you just need to control yourself. No, well, it's a little, we have to add context to it, because it's a little hard when you got a bitch just dressed half naked in front of you, dancing, and just damn near throwing it at you. I'm just saying. Now, is he still wrong? Absolutely. His girl was just in the right room. I'm not justifying it. But I'm not about to sit up here and go on this nigga, and clearly she's not innocent. Clearly, she got some alternative motives. Clearly. So no, we're not doing that. I'm not fucking with that. I said she could have told him to move or stepped away herself, but no, she wanted to give a little show. Exactly. She wanted to give a little show. So you ain't see her do that big ass roll, move away from that ninja as he darted his big ass from the far end of the whole other side of the island. Why can't her body language of moving away be enough? Maybe it would have been if this wasn't your friend's man. If this wasn't your friend's man, it might have been enough. But the fact that that's your friend's man and you don't see a problem with him looking at you while you dancing, damn, looking at you, you don't have a problem with him lusting over you, shows you have a problem. Why are you not uncomfortable? I would immediately be uncomfortable. The fact that you are comfortable enough to start dancing in front of him with them little ass clothes on shows that you have a problem. I wouldn't even feel comfortable doing that. I would have had to take the phone to another part of another room, another part of at least another part of the room where they're not near me. They're not in the phone. Why do you want her man in your video? Why do you want her man in your video? Why do you want her man in your video that you're dancing seductively in? Why do you want her in that? So, yeah, man, I ain't fucking. I'm hot to say. I gotta get the hell. I'm about to sweat out my damn blowout again. Look, you see my shit puffing back up? Yeah, I sweated my hair too much. Jesus, my roots, Lord, help me, Jesus. I just blow dried it. I'm gonna get heat damage. Sorry, I'm about to twist it. It's fine. But yeah, to say the least, my point is, lacking modesty, that's a fundamental. Lacking self-awareness, that's a fundamental. Come on now. Lacking mindfulness, that's a fundamental. All right, that's a fundamental that's necessary, baby, and that ain't it. That right there, that ain't it. I'm not fucking with it. I'm sorry. Bro, I can be wrong all you want, but that bitch ain't right. She ain't right. I'm not rocking with it. So yeah. But yeah. Whoa, Jesus Christ, that was a lot. Child, I'm hot. Where my fan at? A lot of videos, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. I think this was a good video. I'm about to clip some of these what you calls up and me reacting. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Do you think that we're missing some fundamental characteristics in our society? Because these are heavy things. These fundamentals have such egregious consequences, or can have such egregious consequences. All right, because that little dance could lead to a baby. I'm just saying. So yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. All right. I enjoyed these reactions. Don't enjoy this video. I appreciate y'all staying in the room with me, coming in. Y'all appreciate y'all off the late night. Y'all know this was an unexpected live. I just popped up out of nowhere. I appreciate y'all coming in. But on the playback, y'all make sure you put your thoughts in the comments below, whether over one of the videos that I've reacted to. And yeah, egregious, outrageous, everything between. That shit was great. But I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all TikTok. Let me get them all here. I was on TikTok the whole time. Y'all some real most fucking real. I love y'all. Thank y'all for liking all the gifts, all that. Appreciate y'all. I'm about to get them off here though. I'm gonna see y'all later. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? That was absolutely egregious, outrageous, everything between. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what you think are some other fundamentals that we may be lacking today that are completely necessary and we need to get back to. We need to correct right now. All right. Other than that, baby, that's all I got. I'm gonna see y'all on the next one. Follow me on TikTok, ZZ Rants, Instagram, ZZ Rants, XZZ Rants. Subscribe to the channel, become a member if you want some exclusive content. Subscribe to Patreon if you want that exclusive as well. Baby, other than that, that's all I got. I'm gonna see y'all on the next one. I appreciate you. Peace. Be one.
We do not play but I agree. You fuck with the team. Might find your West in the creek. We crossing our T's. We don't never miss a beat.